Scott, thank you very much for the introduction. We are grateful for everyone's time with us today. We know we have a short amount of time, lots of people to compete, so we're going to give you a story. Brad, would you like to tell us if your audio is working?
My audio is most likely working. I've actually kind of taken a seat here. I've nestled back into it, and I'm ready for a story.
Get your popcorn ready, kids, because show's about to start. Before any show starts, make sure that we are legally disclaimed from giving you anything good. This is the disclaimer. You know how it is, Brad. Trade Ideas is only for educational and informational purposes only. If you are looking for solicited investment advice, that can only be given by a registered representative. I want to make sure everybody had enough time to read. So are we ready to rock and roll? Guys, let's get your popcorn ready. It's story time. It is our thought that we have a short amount of time and we got to tell you an interesting story. So we use allegory. Allegory is a metaphor that uses characters to relay a theme. We don't want to bore you with lines and wiggles and numbers. We want to show you that when you're in finance, when you're in trading, when you're investing, you're in Hazzard County. So the hazards of finance county is the theme of this presentation. We got a lot to tell you. But here's something you should know, Brad, as you're sitting there eating your popcorn reading, I'm going to say this to you because these are lyrics from a very famous lyricist. There's lots of shady characters, lots of dirty deals. Every name's an alias in case somebody squeals. It's the lure of easy money. It's got a very strong appeal. Brad, do you recall?
God, if you just said a few more lines, I could probably get it. But, it's so familiar.
Don Henley, it's the smuggler's blues.
Yeah.
But for us, and everyone here hopefully can appreciate it, for us, it's the trader's blues. And there are lots of shady characters. And the last part I made for a very important reason. It's the lure of easy money. It's got a very strong appeal. Look how attractive Hazzard County looks, Brad. Luckily, ladies and gentlemen, Dan and Brad are here to help you. We're Team Trade Ideas. I am the whimsical CEO, super handsome, always catching the ladies, got the bright ideas and the game plan. With me is my compadre, Luke, otherwise known as Brad Williams, very handy with a golf club or an arrow or anything that needs hands and brute force.
Or a wrench.
We got the most attentive, caring support infrastructure that there is for any finance company. You can talk to our girls. They know what's going on. And guys, not to be discriminating, and our CTO knows how to work the little bits, he knows where the wrench needs to go, Brad, in a way that nobody else knows how to do. And you know the thing that he's strumming.
Code.
Code that runs the magic. Remember, this is a story. You have more than you know because everything that I'm going to tell you is all that you will need to understand. You are witnessing here a one-of-a-kind product. We're the only vendor in the world that shows you a strategy that works. We're able to do it because nobody else believes it can happen, and you guys are so early. I can't even tell you, Brad, how early are the people that are here?
I mean, we've been doing this for a while, but the tech that we've recently come out with is just a couple of years old, pretty new.
And it's game changing in terms of investing. We thought that what we had before was game changing, and it kind of was because it let a bunch of super smart, handsome fellas lead a life of, let's say, relatively stress-free. But then when we evolved it, when we created the artificial intelligence, we took that singularity step into the next direction. Guys, look at that car, it can fly. So we are going to tell you how to drive the General. We're going to show you what the General can do. But you got to understand, picture it. This is what's happening. You're the guy there taking that picture. see that general fly. But we got some problems. Your brokerage, the boar's nest, where everyone goes to feed. Okay? Swine. Now I want to give you something that, remember, you're not, if I'm sitting here wasting your time telling you when a stock crosses an indicator line, this is when it's time to go, well then we're both full of shit. And by both, I mean the vendors of the technology and the people here. We're not about that here at Trade Ideas. We're here to give you a little bit of the truth. So imagine Robinhood for a minute. And I don't really have anything against Robinhood per se, but I just want to give you a perspective. The boar's nest. Robinhood gives you free trades. That's really appealing. It's the lure of easy money. It's got a very strong appeal. But are you aware, for example, that let's say Dan and Brad, who also have a good brokerage idea and have maybe even some better technology, want to start a broker that competes with Robinhood? They can't, because Robinhood's free, because Robinhood's funded by gigantic venture capital firms that can give it money until the earth fades away. So that's the symbolism here. What's the incentive? To just take all market share, be the Amazon of brokers? I don't know. Brad, what do you think it is? It could be, right?
I think they lost the incentive for creativity, for inventiveness, for fairness, really.
Well, this is what I'm saying. If your only objective is to get market share by giving something away, well, then you're not in a flying car, are you? No. You're just in a...
You're an audience member in the Oprah studio.
You're in a soup kitchen. So here's the problem that we have, right? The boar's nest, the brokerage firm that you and we are all in it together because we're all in Hazzard County, remember. We're there with you, but we're the Duke boys. Okay? Now here's your brokerage owner, and I'm going to get through this real quick. I'd like to give you a couple of things that we do for our premium customers, some good service. Okay? That's what they do. They want to give you something that doesn't do anything that lets you give them some fees. It's that simple. And then the other problem is, of course, that just like in lots of businesses, the coyotes watching the hen house. What is it, Brad? Is it, or how do you say it? I think that's right.
I think that's right.
Something to that effect. But Boss Hogg and Roscoe are best buddies. And these are the people that are in charge of you. That's why you need to be with the Duke boys. Okay? And now, I want to introduce you to Clint Eastwood.
I didn't know we had this in our software.
Brad, Clint Eastwood, remember, this is all allegorical writing. I want to show you how it works because as Brad and I sit there and contemplate the future of Trade Ideas, it often dawns on us that a lot of people cannot connect the dots. So what I want to do is I want to connect them for you. And don't get worried with the crisscrossing and whatever. This is the fun of it. Okay? So check it out. Our artificial intelligence is the thing you need because it's doing all the stuff that you want to be doing yourself but will never be able to. I mean, it's as simple as that. You're not going to do all the math. You're not going to go through millions of trades. That's the automated part. Just like, and we've said this in hundreds of other presentations, Brad, we use the analogy of the Google navigation system or Waze or Apple's, anyone's really, right? You cannot go through a map as fast as the navigation is telling you merge here, turn here, and then add the traffic, right? Where it's rerouting you off the freeway to some side street and then back on the freeway. We take it for granted, do we not, Brad?
Absolutely. You're absolutely right.
So since right now, almost every investor, except of course the people that are using Trade Ideas, and relatively speaking in the world, there are so few. That's why you're so early. You are so smart. Brad, why is everyone here so brilliant to be here?
Luck, timing,
Timing is
everyone.
So as I said before, these are the outputs of our AI trade. Now let me start you with it. Listen to Clint Eastwood, connect the lines. PBR, Petróleo Brasilio, crude petroleum natural gas extraction. If you for some reason think that we only trade some low volume stocks, here it is doing 20 million shares. Everyone can see that? Brad, you can see that?
Yep, 3 times normal.
By the way, Brad, on a totally side note between us, why are there commas in this one but not on the where I have to put them in?
We'll talk about that later.
Okay, sorry.
At least we have some commas, right?
Yeah, back to the program. Okay, PBR. At 6:42 in the morning, West Coast time, approximately 12 minutes right after the open, you had a signal to get long PBR at the entry price of this, which is 14.21. There's a blue line here on the graph. Every graph that you have that is on the AI channel will have these entry lines for you, so literally you can't miss it. Once you get in at this price, assuming it's somewhere around there, you instantly visually see where your stop is. It's right here. It's, in this case, it's probably 25 cents or something to that effect. I can't see it. Right around there. Okay.
Yep. 25-cent stop.
So this is what actually took place thereafter. Now, by the way, this does not happen all the time. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that we continue to show this. This was the trade. Boom, 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 boom. Pulled back for 5, 10, 15, 20-minute pullback, but never really doing anything, and then continued higher, and this is where it closed. At the time of this trade, okay, we were in risk on. So I was showing you that, see this arrow, this was the P&L at this time, 9:42 a.m. That's why I'm pointing you at the time. So when I took this picture, okay, at 9:42, this is what had transpired in this trade. It was up 80 cents. There was an exit for people who are more conservative. If you wanted to lock in, you could have locked in 23 cents. And then it continued to go 80 cents. And this 80 cents was a contributor to the P&L of this 330. If you took all of these together at this point in time, when I took this picture, you would have gotten this 330. These were the open trades, these were the closed risk off trades, but everything was risk on, so in theory, you would have been in most of these. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I really like how you put the graphic together, because it does show kind of the interrelationship, you know, between all these different windows. And that's, you know, even though that these are all different free-floating windows that are all configured in a certain way, that the way that they all work together is really a very symbiotic experience.
Well, let's walk through it a little bit more for the people, just so they can see. So here I'm outlining just one trade. So this is 80 cents of this 330. Here is information so that when you're looking through in an evaluation point of view, you can see other points of data, like, for example, earnings date. So it just had earnings, so it was good, I'm assuming. Had lots of options volume, lots of social activity. It's a 51 billion market cap stock. So you can kind of imagine your risk as you're getting into this. The idea is that whether you're doing it from the point of view of purely analytics and trusting it, these are all the components you need to improve your levels of trust so that you can do it easily.
There's a lot of information, even on that middle chart up at the top right there. There's some different colors that we have. We've got like a purple, and we've got a little bit of an orange, and that's the different time periods through the day. So that's like the pre-market time right there, that orange. And so you can see sunrise. That signal.
By the way, sunrise, and you can imagine that sunset is the aftermarket.
Yeah, so you can see that the signal occurred right as it was breaking out from its pre-market high. You know, that's when it started to really develop that momentum, which is indicative of that sunrise mover strategy.
So here's something else that you guys should see. Notice that the second best trade was short. The AI is able to do two things at once. It can give you the signals to follow in the long direction. It can also give you to follow signals in the short direction. Our whole point is this is a game-changing product because it's leading you to the statistical moves where you're not caught in a stampede. For some reason, you have been taught to think that a stampede or a sardine, school of sardines, or this gigantic pod is where you need to be. But that is not the case. Let me move on real quick. I'm going to switch to our regularly scheduled demonstration in a second. I just wanted to give you guys another example of one of the things that we're doing is 5 ways to win in a post-buy the effing dip market. It's an ebook that you get when you visit our site, and we strongly suggest that you check it out. Let's see, what did I do, Brad, with, oh, whoops, wrong way, my bad. Okay, so we were on this slide, I'll move, and now to the actual software. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep.
Okay. So Brad, I want to tell you, why is it, do you think, that I brought up LFGR, Leaf Group?
Well, the action is heating up. Boy, if you look at the daily chart on this thing, it's been pretty hot over the last few days here. What else is going on here?
There's no question. But I want you to look at this right here.
Mm-hmm.
What does this say, Brad?
It's the lure of easy money. It's got a very strong appeal.
The lure of easy money, Brad, has a very strong appeal. Things like LFGR and other things that people tend to chase because they want to be there. And I'm not saying that it cannot be done. I'm just saying that the lure of easy money has a very strong appeal.
You bet. There's a different risk reward that has to be considered with each entry here.
Exactly. But the problem is people are not taught to understand the different risk reward options here. And notice how the Trade Ideas AI and the software is working with you, not in a, hey, let me give you Home Depot and you can buy whatever tool you want there and then build your house. But we're giving you some prefab, good housing. Here you're seeing this is your exit for today if you could make it, and it's moving with the stock. So what the software is saying, look, if you get in at some point, here's your smart stop. Brad, you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But if you want to really play with the big boys, there's your swing exit. And by the way, it'll keep adjusting higher as needed. So there's lots of information that's being given to you here to help you maybe avoid the pitfalls of the lures of easy money.
Right. Just knowing that information, right? You can make that determination whether getting into a trade like this and holding it for a period of time is worth the potential of holding that thing for $2 to the downside.
Absolutely. So this is how the AI finished the day, up 221 and 209 and risk off. So almost the same, risk on and risk off. These were all the trades. These were all the trades that were profitable. You can see them in blue, flat to flat-ish, and then negative. The point that we bring this up to you, and again, this is an important point, is that when you try to catch the other stocks, the big ones with the lure of easy money, you tend to be chewed up as an individual investor because it's like learning to surf in big waves or learning to ski on, let's say, a blue black. There's plenty of people doing it. And for anybody who's ever gone skiing, and this includes myself, you're sitting there and you're riding on a lift and let's say you're passing the moguls on beneath you and you see this person just smoothly going boom, 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 boom. And you're like, that's what I want to do. But when you get there, you know what happens. because you haven't been taught or you don't know how to. Sometimes it's a combination of two things. Like, for example, Brad, at our current age, mogul skiing might not just be possible anymore.
It's a little tougher on the body now.
It's a little tougher on the body. And this does relate to investing, believe it or not, because if you want to trade super actively, well, you're competing against the day trading gamers. Brad and I were them, but in like the late 90s. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to find something that's within yourself. And that's why we created this AI as a way that you can filter the data to go for the statistics. You're not going to see a gigantic jump of people attacking the stocks that the AI is giving you, because that's how we designed the AI. That doesn't mean you're not going to see some interesting relative data. Like, for example, Brad, this PBR, look at this volume. But of course, in this case, 37 million, which is about as liquid as, this is a stock where if you could have caught this move, right? I mean, you could have been in some serious volume. That's how you can make insane amounts of literal money. 37 million shares traded, 3.
I mean, look, there's so many different metrics that are attributed to all of these different stocks, and you can see all these different channels that we have over on the left side. So sure, we brought it out through the AI channel, but I can assure you that this symbol was present in a variety of other scenarios, other channels throughout the day, just because of its volatility and its volume action.
No question. And that's the other thing that we want to tell you, is that you have it all here with us, because there's really no more analysis that a human can possibly do or need to do to succeed the way that they can succeed. You know, there's no more tinkering. You got to get into the now, you got to get into the present and make decisions. And there is no technology in the market, nowhere, anywhere near, that is going to get you to that decision point in a better way, in the most informed way, to say, all right, let's go, and now I know what to do as a result. That's what we want to say is the difference. When you go to the social media site, any channel, right? Anything you bring up, and incredible moves we show you, because that's what our software is designed to do. Notice how it's surfing for you. In other words, and we've talked about this before, that there's that mental education component within Trade Ideas, that if you do nothing and just let your eyes watch things, you're going to see some things. And your eyes, which are a key to your subconscious, they know things that you don't have to intellectually infer. They can see danger, they know volatility. You are honing, what I'm doing and what you are doing, we're doing this together. We are honing our instinct.
It's also it's quite a substitute for time too, because you know, if you're spending years doing this, you're cycling through symbols just in watching this every day, but in having it do it for you, you're also forced to look at the activity of that stock, and it sets an imprint into your brain.
That's what we did it for. It also follows you. There's that personalization element. Whatever you like, you can select. And these are all the different things that I've selected. And the software is just following my ideas around so I can keep tabs of the stuff that I am keeping tabs on. By the way, oh my God, hold on a second. Brad, do you remember this thing? Holy bejesus.
Yeah, not looking so good, huh?
No, but do you remember what it was? That was that crazy movie blockchain sort of scam or something or other. My God.
I mean, that was real money to be made if you were nimble.
Yeah.
Big time.
In both directions. Ladies, gentlemen, this is available. This happens. And we want to guide you to it. We want to guide you to that amazing experience, a flow state where you know that you're managing your own money. You know that you can do it. You're not scared of anything because it's all labeled for you. There's your intraday stop. There's your swing stop. Think about that. Whenever you see something now, okay, well, if I'm getting in it today, I don't want to hear right here. But if I'm already in it, well, here's my swing exit. Notice this is all done by itself. The computer does it all.
Maybe you want to know what they do. You know, you can just hit that profile tab and you can see exactly what they do. It's just all right there.
Who else is doing this, Brad? I'm tearing my shirt off. I'm going Hulk Hogan.
Leave it on, leave it on.
The problem is with all of us, it's a problem of trust. So many people are taught to ignore the obvious. Ignore what's right in front of you and instead do what everyone's doing. And what everyone's doing is giving their money to other people. When you give your money to other people, not that you need to manage all of it, but you of course lose control. Have control over your own money. It is an elevated experience. You want to be connected to it. And this is the way that you connect to it, where you can extract the highest percentage of wealth per visit with any technology. That is how I feel about our product. I mean, Brad, I know I can't prove that, but I know it's true.
You know, dude, it's a labor of love. This is something we've been doing for 15 years, and obviously we were trading before that. So this is really just a culmination of stuff that we wanted to put into a tool set, and just kind of from there, it just kind of took off into something far greater than that. But yeah, I mean, it is a labor of love, and I think when you do something that you like, the results are usually a lot better.
Well, look at the little details. Look at these little lines, you know, right here. The profit target, the smart stop, the swing exit. Aren't those the little things? What else do you need? Everything you look at, let's say you and I, because we like self-torture, we say we trade just Tesla, just hypothetically speaking.
I'd be putting a price alert in or about now.
Well, I mean, I'm not even getting into the complex stuff, but I'm just saying, here's your intraday exit, and you're not near your swing stop, which is right here. How did it know that if you get below this level, Brad, cliffy, if you know what I mean? How does it know?
Do you want the answer?
Well, I think you should tell our audience.
Well, it knows because it has the historical data. It has an algorithm. It looks back, and when it finds some support level, it places that there at a far greater depth than if you were looking at a smart stop, which is more of an intraday type of notification. And the smart stop is based upon the stock's volatility, what's the range for the stock for the day, and also what's that relative volume. So those are some factors that go into the algorithm. So every stock is going to have a very unique type of swing exit and smart stop specific to the way it's trading and its price point.
Lots of different channels, again, that if you go down through the screen, including Barry Anderson, and Barry, who leads our trading room, super helpful with everyone as a great entry point into the market. We will mention our trading room, and we're about to integrate that into our site soon. Brad, people here on the Q&A, maybe we should tell them a little bit about what would you say are some of the big things that are happening?
Some of the big things, well, I think everybody's going to be really excited about the custom channel bar that's getting pretty close. So we're going to give everybody the ability to really have a set of, I think 5 is the number that we came up with, but have up to 5 different custom channels that they can create, put together some of the best windows from any of the different channels that we have, compile it into their own custom workspaces and create, you know, their own. You can do it now through the cloud, but it'll make it really easy and very convenient to do.
And more personalized, I think.
Yeah, more personalized. They'll be able to upload their image and the whole thing, so it'll be kind of cool. And we're also working on enhancing our AI. So 2 is better than 1, 3 is better than 2. We've been doing this for a couple years with our single AI, and we're starting to broaden that into some other scenarios that we're going to present to our users.
Now, one of the things that I'll say, and I really appreciated Barry pointing this out when we had our priorities meeting, and you know, as a technology company, we have those, and we have to be real adults and work. And Barry has been showing the other AI, and this is the other thing for those of you who aren't Trade Ideas customers, just in general, Barry, because just like he's part of the team, I mean, he is part of the team, not just like, sorry, Barry, I'm saying Barry being part of the team, he has access to all the advanced technology. So, and by advanced, we mean that we test stuff on ourselves. You know, we make sure it's stable, things like that. So Barry's been showing, yeah, Barry's been showing the other AI, and it has been doing some amazing things. Not every day, of course, but really something to consider in a serious way. And I think that you're already seeing this. You know, in terms of what does this $2.21 mean, Brad? Why don't we tell the audience this, because this is another thing that sort of gets confused.
Well, it's also something that we are working on. So right now, it's, how can I best explain it? Right now, we don't have a scenario in here that is hypothesizing you trading more than one share or a certain dollar amount. So when we're talking about the profitability being up $2.21, that's hypothesizing we're trading one share. Okay, and so if we're trading one share of each one of these trades, how much are we going to be moving? What's the profit gain or the profit loss that we're going to have? And out of the 21 trades, if we were to hold all of these positions to the end of the day, we would have made risk on profit. We would have made $2.21. Now there's another scenario, and in the other scenario, these are the shorter term scenario where you're in a trade for a certain period of time and then you get out based upon the signal here. That's what we call risk off. And risk off was just a stellar performance today because it really gave you the opportunity to make money very, very quickly and be done. You know, that's a lot of times that's what happens when you're trading. You know, a lot of times you can be trading, have a great morning, and end up spinning your wheels the rest of the day, and it's just the way it is sometimes. But
that is such a good point, Brad. Such a good point to bring up, because that so often that happens where we emotionally are programmed, I think, by evolution to respond to whatever's happening first. So
do me a favor, go back to the risk on chart, because this is also another interesting scenario here. And you can see, yeah, right there. So the start of the day, we were obviously flat, we didn't have any positions, we were zero. But as the day progressed, at the peak of the day, we were up about $5. So we gave back about half of our gains. But you know, this is a scenario where it's not, trading's not black and white. You're not necessarily holding to the timed exit or holding to the end of the day, right? As a trader, you have to make decisions based on the broader market, based on the particular position. And so you did have an opportunity to really squeeze up to $5. That's 5 points out of 21 trades. That's pretty good.
But to add, I don't want to say counter, because it's not counter, but a corollary maybe is the proper word to what Brad is saying. We are trying to get it as close as possible for you to just follow the AI, because even at the end of the day, 221 is not bad. And our notion is this: if you approach trading like you should approach a business, which is a systematic approach versus goal-oriented, and we've talked about this on many presentations. If you're looking to trade and you instantly want that profit, well, you are not going to become a good trader, because trading doesn't work like that. You could, like, for example, let's say you start trading. Well, by the way, you can just walk into a situation where you could have 3 months of bad trades. And you have to understand that within the numerical scheme of things, that's still okay. Meaning bad trades, I'm saying not like you lose your account, but I'm saying that if you're executing the strategy the way it's supposed to be done, much like what we're doing here with the AI, you become systems oriented. The system works. Look at we see the results, right? But we're not shooting for the results. We're shooting for the behavior. That's why we outline it on the chart. There's your entry. There's your stop. There's your profit target. There's your 2 ways. You know, the more risk averse, or if you have more money, stay risk on. That's as simple as it needs to get. Sophistication through simplicity. Efficiency through simplicity. Remember what works. Keep it simple. Stupid. The KISS method. Brad, you've heard that before.
Once or twice.
Once or twice. So that's what I want to tell you, guys.
You want to run a back test, Dan?
Sure. Did anybody ask?
Let me drop something in your account here real quick. Just give me 1 second here.
Okay, school me on how to do it, Brad, but I'll see if I can figure it out. So by the way, you can start or stop the surfing. I can go to my cloud right here. So there's a cloud that whenever I make anything, I can usually, if the internet's working, I can always go back and do stuff. Like I was working on this strategy I'll show you, and I'm a fan of Easy-E and NWA, so I made one called, this is a stick up, everybody get face down. So you back test it, and I'm going to go simulate sell. This is a stick up. Everybody get phase down.
So that's a pretty good strategy. I mean, I want you to run it to the one that I gave you. That's a great one. I mean, that showed a profit factor of 5.3. And for people that don't know, that profit factor is the sum total of all your winning trades over the sum total of all your losing trades. So if you had the equal amount of winners to losers, it would be 1. So 2 is twice, and so 5, that's a fantastic ratio right there.
So this, what I've got here, and by the way, just between, to be honest, between Brad and I, Brad, you know I showed this to you a week ago, and you know, knowing me and knowing who I am, have I touched this since I've shown it to you?
No, you haven't. You haven't.
Wait, by the way, you're so fast on that answer.
Well, it hasn't traded a whole lot this week, but.
No, but by the way, isn't that okay for a system?
It's okay.
Yeah, right.
Was this a multi-day hold or something like that?
No.
Yeah.
Look.
Ah, 30 minutes. Okay.
30 minutes.
So do this. I dropped in your cloud. I dropped another strategy, and this will illustrate really what we do every single. Well, not what we do,
by
but
the way,
what we.
Brad, do you have this as a stick up? Or what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to save and share to cloud. For everybody that wants to be here, I'll just drop it into the message area and let anybody pick up this cloud link for my subscriber friends. So let me show you something else that's kind of cool. And as you get to see Brad and I, by the way, you know we're really good friends also. That's why we pal around like this. So my cloud, I just was there. I closed that window. Now I'm opening it up.
You see something right there.
And Brad, because he has access to our back office, he logged in there and gave me this strategy called Sunrise Mover, optimized, better version 19. And that's kind of like our code, our comms. Brad, we have comms.
That's our comm, yes.
Know the comms, people. Know the comms. Okay, so this is what the strategy looks like. And today, we move the time here. And this is the type of alert. So the signal is an alert that we call crossed above resistance, and we have that icon right there. If I bring this up, this is what it looked like today. This is when that signal that you see right here took place, and this is how the trade ended up. So again, you would have had to hold it a little bit. I don't know if that would have worked or not, but it certainly ended up working quite well. So right click, I go to back test the strategy. And this is everyone who has premium access has this ability. Just so
right. So everybody can do their own tweaking around and creating their own strategies. But this is what our AI has come up with, and it does this every single day for all of our strategies.
Right. And notice, by the way, that Brad and I, because we're not the smartest of guys, notice there's no coding here. Start time 6:35 because come on, give it 5 minutes.
We made them give us sliders.
That's right. And end time 7:15. Well, how did Brad come up with that? He didn't. That's what he worked on with the AI, and the AI simply suggested to him for this type of strategy, whatever it is, this is the best systems approach. Traded between 6:35, 7:15. That's it. What if that was your workday, and the rest of the time you spent on reading poetry or learning about QAnon? Could you have possibly done any of this magic right here? No way. Brad, tell people why this is so awesome.
Well, it's awesome because, well, there's so many different reasons why it's awesome. It's awesome because...
Let me start with the first one. So imagine this, ladies and gentlemen. Now, don't be scared. Brad, don't be scared. I don't want you to be scared, Brad. Brad, are you scared?
I'm not scared. Okay,
people, don't be scared. In order for you to have results where you had this kind of profit factor and this kind of success and blah, 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 look at how many different factoids or factors or factorlets from more of a fractal perspective. So what these are right here, this is trade ideas hieroglyphics. The best part is you don't need to know what it is, although you can. I mean, some of it's as basic as minimum price. See dollar sign?
Or go to the next one to the right. That's, I mean, the one just to the right of that. No, your other right. There you go.
Yeah, min
So,
NASDAQ change 5 minutes. So that means that whatever it is that it's doing here, come back. It knows that the NASDAQ can't be down more than 0.5% over the last 5 minutes. So the idea here is that you're not standing in the way of the train going, hi, I'm Superman.
and also it doesn't trade on every day. Look at all the Wednesdays, right? You know, it just, I think it did on the 18th, but it doesn't really, everything needs to be in alignment for it to happen.
That's right. It's all about alignment. Age of Aquarius. But the interesting part here is these things right here, these were all computer assisted selections that Brad just took advantage of because he has access to trade ideas technology. In other words, the generally people, this is the general. Do you see that what the general does? It flies. Generally.
You also have other scenarios here, right? Your share size, you could change it to, let's say you want to trade $5,000 quantities or 1,000 shares. You know, you can really hypothesize what you want to do here.
Right. Well, here I'm going to change it to 5,000, and here's what it does.
Your commissions are pretty high there. It's,
right. But the idea is,
all these things are variables.
notice also slippage. We're losing 2 cents in every direction when we run this. You right away start to realize, well, what do I need? You know, like, what is the necessity? How often do we even know any of this? Right here, you know, well, imagine this just for a minute. Well, you got these great odds, right? And you're like, I'm putting this to work with all the money I have. My $1,000. Brad, what's going to happen?
You're going to eat it up in commission.
Yes. But how did you know that? You didn't know it. Notice that no brokerage tells you this information. Your Honor, I refer you to Exhibit H for Hog. Can I interest you in some full service programs? But this is what we do when we model. I mean, and Brad and I want to give you entertainment, finfotainment, but we are the leaders in the world of data mining technology. And I'm serious. If the NSA knew what we had, they'd be all up in our grizzle. They don't.
Good thing they don't.
Good thing they don't. We're so small, nobody even knows we exist. But you guys do. We're here. We're smart. Take advantage of this while few people know. That's right. Old Cooter Phil wrote the infrastructure for the code, but we've got lots of coders now, Mike. It's beyond Phil. He's scared and lazy, hiding. Now it's the Bo and Duke Luke show. Bo Duke, Luke Duke. Driving in the car. Okay, let's get back to our presentation. So we showed you what we do. We showed you how all of these signals came about. It came about through what Brad and I showed you, running those odds, yada, 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 but doing that automatically for 57 of those windows and maintaining it, etc., and splitting it up into longs and shorts and doing it. That's what we do. That is what we do. People, no one in the world does this. And you are here because you're smart. Now take advantage of it. That's all I can tell you. Let's go back to our show. We have the book, which helps you to understand that there is so much money to be made on the short side. Remember, I showed you that stock, HMNY. If you want to understand why you need to know this, just look at that symbol, HMNY, and think to yourself, what could you have been doing on the downside? Yeah, the downside. The other, it's the other 50. Hi, the downside. The other 50% they don't tell you about. once again, Barry, our good friend, what a wonderful leader and mentor to have in our trading room in our community ever since Barry joined the team a couple years ago. Phenomenal product. He has taken it, it's his baby, and he gives you the proper human approach to the market. Barry doesn't just shove artificial intelligence into your mouth, even though we whip him and tell him to. We're like, Barry, tell him about the AI. Barry, tell him. And then no. Barry didn't do it.
No, it's really cool. And he's using our software to really make these trading decisions along with the community. And that layout that he has that he's displaying to everybody and talking about is available through the channel bar. It's been recently updated. So, and it will continue to be updated. So the windows that he's showing and using and being alerted to are available for you to pull up too and make your own.
Yeah. So it's such a good team meritocracy, and it's growing. And once we incorporate it inside the Trade Ideas website, we're really going to start getting people in there. So Barry, I know you're in here. Be careful. Get your singing voice on. He's so smooth. All right, everyone. This is the part that you've been waiting for. Get your wallets out. Brad, not you. Every time we do this, we have to.
Find my card.
Brad. He gets so amped and excited. Brad, we know you like this product, but we just want to have people understand what they're really getting. Artificial intelligence for the price of a Coke or a Subway. You have a monthly rate, you have a yearly rate in dollar per day terms, of course. So you'll see on the price if you go to the software, you can see what that is. We have a promo code for you since you are here. Save in May in caps, SAVEINMAY, 15% off your first month or the year of Trade Ideas service. And remember, this is lunch every day. I mean, it's so amazing that we have technology, Brad, that allows us to provide artificial intelligence for the price of a Starbucks. All right, you guys probably don't want to do this, but if you're ready for the hardcore finance, the stuff that we don't talk about on the street because it's too mentally taxing, this is the podcast to be at. This is the dark side. Where we discuss how it is that Yoda could not understand that the Sith Lords were standing right next to him. This is where we're at. Please join us, but I must tell you, it's not rated PG. No. Episodes on Fridays, please. This is where you hear some of the magic. And by magic, I'm being literal. We are very easy to get a hold of. Always available. I am at Trade Ideas 1 on Twitter if you like to look at a crazy person. And our more corporate account is at Trade Ideas. More tame. We just crossed the Inc. 5000, and we're everywhere you want to be, helping the little guy, not the big guy. We're the real Robin Hood. Like us on Facebook, please. We appreciate that. And you can send us an email to info@trade-ideas.com, or if for some reason you want to chat with me, I'm Dan at trade-ideas.com. I would tell you Brad's email, but you probably wouldn't be able to figure it out. Thank you once again. We know we have your time for a short amount of time, and I want to entertain you, give you wisdom, and hopefully all of us leave better off by you being here. I know I have, because it was fun sharing it with you, and we are very excited about this technology. Scott, anything I miss?
I think you got it all. Sounds good. If anyone has any questions, shoot us an email or shoot Dan an email. Make sure you're following us on social. Thanks, Dan and Brad. We'll get the recording up shortly.
Thanks, Scott. Take care.
Later.
Bye.